So this video is about kinetic effect of nanomaterials. Whenever we have to study about the nanomaterials, we have to study how the chemical, physical and mechanical property of nanoparticles react. So that we have to study about kinetic effect. Within the kinetic effect of nanomaterials, we have to study the size dependent effect, geometric structure, electronic structure, and then we have to move to optical properties, surface to volume ratio, reactivity, melting point, magnetic properties, density and wettability and surface tension to know the kinetics of nanoparticles. Then we will see the references. So first we have to see about the introduction to nanoparticles. As we already know, nanoparticles means the structure which is having less than 100 nanometer dimension or coming under this nanomaterials. Then the examples will be fullerenes, metal cluster which are larger molecule such as protein. Here size does matter. Small is different when compared with this nanomaterials. Nano is tinier than tiny particles. Very minute thing which is infinitesimal structure. So here bulk structures are characterized mostly by the properties such as composition, solubility, melting point, boiling point, vapor pressure, pH, like that. But whenever we have to come with nanoparticles, we have to characterize those using size, shape of the interacting surface, melting point, surface area, wettability, surface tension, band gap and pore size, because these nanomaterials are very critical in size, very smaller. So we have to make some more extra parameters to be characterized. Then here the size dependent effects are basically two types. Those are surface effect and quantum confinement effect. Whenever we have to see about surface effect, most of the time we have to see with dispersion, and then the opposite form to confinement is dispersion. The dispersion is taken over with the surface effect. So the dispersion F of a sample is defined as the fraction or percentage of atom at the surface relative to the total number of atoms inside the sample. So we have to relate the surface element to the total element. So the dispersion is given as surface area by volume. Most of the time we have to take the sample in nano size to be in the circular shape, and so we have to take sphere. So surface area of a sphere is 4 pi r square, whereas the volume of the sphere is 4 pi r cube by 3, and so the dispersion formula, which is surface area by volume, will be written as 3 by r if the radius is taken, 6 by d if the diameter is taken. In this, a special case will be there, that is, if the diameter of the specimen reaches the diameter of two atoms, if it is filled, every atom is directly exposed to the surface. You can imagine that if the diameter of specimen where we are taking the sample reaches the diameter of two atoms, then every atom is exposed to the surface. If a container is filled with water, the water particle is exposed to the atmosphere. So like that, every atom is directly exposed to the surface, and so here the dispersion is taken as 1. So here a graphical representation to give the number of elements, the relativity of number of elements to that of the dispersion. So in the figure we have taken cubic crystal with n atoms along an edge and total number of atoms, that is a number of atoms in the cluster. So based on this cluster, how dispersion occurs, that only is given over here. Over the x-axis number of elements has been taken, over y-axis dispersion has been taken. The smallest cube has 8 atoms and each of them is at the surface, while the next large cube has 27 atoms with one atom at the center. For larger cube, the dispersion scales 1 by n to the power 1 by 3, which is proportional to 1 by d. And so whenever the number of atoms increases, the dispersion decreases. So that's given over here. So With the increase in number of elements, we are having decrease in dispersion. So this is the relativity. The next, quantum confinement. Whenever we have to come with quantum confinement, we have to see with delocalized electrons, because here we are dealing with the atoms. Atoms have atomic orbitals. The core of the orbitals are confined to relatively small volume, and most of them are localized based on the valence band, conduction band, like that. So each of the atom contributes with its atomic state to a band, so that the width of the band increases slightly. When more atom is added, the density of the state within the band basically proportional to the number of atom ensemble with the extended band structure. We know that with the increase in number of atoms, the band structure expands. So that's given over here. The density of state is very large for a bulk amount of matter, but low for small clusters. That's given over here. So we have to move from macroscopic to mesoscopic to microscopic, or otherwise microscopic to mesoscopic, mesoscopic to macroscopic. So based on the number of atoms we are using, we are segregating as macroscopic, mesoscopic and microscopic. So these microscopic are having atoms and molecules which are having lesser confinement, and insulators and clusters are mesoscopic. So atoms and molecules is very minute, they are having the confinement is very lesser. But when you move towards the conducting, that is a macroscopic, it will be very higher. And so insulating clusters and particles are having greater that is somewhat greater conductivity, that is based on atoms, because atoms are ideal things. But here insulating clusters, they are somewhat combined, but it possesses a little bit it's not conductivity, it's having reflective property. That reflecting property is lesser when compared to that of individual atom. And when come with metallic clusters and particles, it is higher. And when it is with a bulk material, it is very much the confinement is very high. So this given over here in quantum confinement. Then next is geometric structures. Next we have to, so these are all with size dependent effect, the surface effect and quantum confinement. Then we have to see with the geometric structure. Usually the crystal structure of large nano cluster is same as bulk structure of materials, that is lattice structure. Lattice structure means well defined structure. So well defined structure means it's having well arranged atoms or more atoms inside it. For example, 80 nanometer aluminum particle have face centered cubic, which is given as FCC. Face centered cubic structure same as the unit cell of bulk aluminum. So bulk aluminum and nanometer aluminum particle are having same structure. Those structures will be face centered cubic structures, but some exceptions we are having over these nanoparticles having diameter less than 5 nanometer. For 80 nanometer it's having same structure, but for less than 5 nanometer some difference, a little difference has been noted. That difference is 3 to 5 nanometer gold particle have icosahedral structure. Icosahedral structure means 20 phased structure, 20 phases will be there, rather than the bulk FCC structure. So this is another one example. So for 80 nanometer it resembles the structure of bulk aluminum, but whenever less than 5 nanometer gold particle has been taken, the face centered cubic structure will have 20 phase structure rather than the bulk structure, the resemblance to bulk structure. So the electronic structures, whenever we come with electronic structures, when atoms form a lattice, the discrete energy of atoms are smudged out into energy bands. Already we know this concept. The term density of state refers to number of energy levels in the given interval of energy. So the well latticed form is having different energy level, and whenever we have to make it to have conduction or reflection, we can make it with another atom to be introduced, a hole will be created and another atom element is introduced over there. Like that we do and make the energy levels to differ over them. For metals, the top band is not totally filled, because metals always go in search of other things so that it conducts easily. For semiconductor, the top occupied band is the valence band is filled, and there is a small energy separation between it and the next higher unfilled band. These are all band structures, energy band structure with metal, semiconductor and insulator. Whenever you come with nanoparticle, that is when metal particle of bulk size is reduced to a few hundred atoms, the density of state in the conduction band, that is the top band containing electron, changes automatically. The continuous density of state in the band is replaced by a set of discrete energy level which may have energy level spacing greater than the energy kBT. So the structure, the electronic structure of metal, semiconductor, insulator can be changed over the nano size. This is given over here. See, this is the bulk material, this is the large metal cluster, this is small metal cluster. In bulk metal we are having well defined band, but in large metal cluster so many energy levels is there. In small metal cluster, so number of atoms will be less, and so less number of energy band levels is there. So this is quantum mechanical treatment referred as quantum size effect. This is only given over here. The emergence of new electronic property can be understood in terms of Heisenberg uncertainty principle. I thought you all have studied this already, this Heisenberg uncertainty principle in your plus 2. So based on that only we are having this quantum size effect, and based on quantum size effect the energy level has been distributed as discrete energy levels over the clusters. Then optical properties. The color of the material is determined by the wavelength of light that is absorbed by it. You already know that, because in optical communication the laser light is having different frequency, the fiber laser light, LED light is having different frequency, sodium bulb is not so sodium light is having different frequency, neon light is having different frequency, like that. So the absorption occurs because electrons are induced by the incident light to make transition between the lower lying occupied levels to higher occupied energy levels. You have studied the population inversion in optical theory, so the same thing is given over here, the lower lying occupied levels and the higher occupied energy levels. In semiconductors, the band gap will be increased as the cluster size is decreased. A blue shift in the absorption spectrum of the semiconductor. So whenever you go with the semiconducting material, the energy level is not constant, based on the material concentration it changes. So the individual energy level separation are also dependent on the clusters, which affect the energy needed for transition of electron to excited state. So whenever you come with these cluster structures, discrete energy levels are there. These discrete energy levels are because of the energy induced over there, that is absorption of light. Because of absorption of light the energy level changes. So this is given over here as cluster of different sizes will therefore have different absorption spectra and hence different color. So for electrons 2, the energy level will be having discrete energy levels will be there, and so it's having different color. So the absorption will be having one energy level for 1.01, for B12 that is 2. It will be well explained in the next slide. See, with a gold building block, so atom having 1 Armstrong unit dia is having white color, ignites white color. This is gold particle, tiny gold particle. See, bulk gold particle is having gold color, and this bulk particle whenever bombarded and taken over 30 to 500 nanometer metallic, it becomes turbid and crimson to blue color will be there. and then it changes to purple, and then it changes to red, which is at 3 to 30 nanometer. Red metallic transparent material is there, and whenever it is taken with less than 1 nanometer dia, it seems orange in color and it is non-metallic over there, and whenever you take it at 1 Armstrong unit dia, it is colorless. That's the gold particle. So it is because of these energy levels. So based on the electron emission, there is energy emitted over there because of population inversion. The discrete energy levels has been created. Because of this difference in discrete energy levels, the color changes and the property also changes. That's given over here. This is the optical property of nanoparticle. The best example is gold. Then we have to see about surface to volume ratio. So in the surface to volume ratio, we have to take the surface and then to volume, because over the surface we are having different number of elements, and whenever we have to consider volume is having different, and so if you take volume equal to 8 cubic inches and surface area equal to 24 square inches, then the surface to volume ratio is 24:8, which is 3. So the surface to volume ratio increases with reducing the size. So whenever the size is reduced, that is volume is 1 cube and surface area is 6 cube inches, then surface to volume area is 6:1, which is equal to 6. So whenever the surface to volume ratio increases, it reduces the size, and whenever size increases, surface to volume ratio decreases. And so based on this only we are having dispersion characteristics. So dispersion characteristics and confinement characteristics also changes. Then reactivity. Since electronic structure of nanostructures depends on their size, their ability to react with other species also depends on size. This has important application for design of catalytic agent, because nanomaterials is our best catalytic agents. So as with decrease in size, the surface area increases. So nanostructure have more surface area for reaction. Hence reactivity increases with decrease in particle size. This is an important question with nanoparticles, the reactivity property. Why it is having better reactivity property? If they ask like that, you have to mention these reason. Then melting point. As the particle size decreases, the melting point also decreases, since the surface energy increases with increase in surface area. Because whenever it is a metal, it's having different characteristics, and bulk material can be bombarded and it can be used with some solutions. But whenever you take particle like structure in nanometer range, the melting point increases, because the tiny particle, atomic particle, can't be separated using heat, and so the melting point is very high for nanoparticles. That's given over here. Whenever the particle radius increases, the melting point also increases. So that's given over here. Then magnetic properties, magnetization, applied field. So with the applied field, that is magnetization increases. So with the decrease in particle size, the hysteresis loop becomes smaller. Whenever size decreases, the hysteresis loop also gets smaller, that is the coercivity and remanence decreases with the particle size. That's given over here. As because the temperature increases, the magnetization effect decreases. That's given over here. So for 3 nanometer, the hysteresis loop is very less, and so the magnetization effect is very less. With the increase in size, that is with the 6 nanometer, increased magnetization effect is noted. With 11 nanometer, greater than that is noted. This is the magnetization effect. So whenever the size is less, magnetization is less. Whenever the size is high, magnetization is high. Then density. Density can be generally varied by changing the pressure or the temperature. So because density is the particle nature, the particle nature has been changed by some applied force, that should be pressure or temperature. But it has been observed that density changes with the change in thickness of the layer is in nanometer range only. So the mass density of copper, chromium, tin and film on MgO was found to be lower than the corresponding bulk value. So silicon oxide, silicon carbide on stainless steel showed increase in density. So copper, silver and gold showed no significant change. The size dependent density of nanoparticle or nanostructured materials is expected to be governed by two issues: cohesion of atoms and the volume of the unit cells. So whenever we have to see with the size dependentity of nanostructured materials, the cohesion is just energy per atom, that the cohesive energy per atom decreases with the size of the particles. You know what is cohesive? Cohesive means the reaction or contraction, like that it is. So the nanoparticle, while lat decreases with the size of the while the lattice constant of nanoparticle may increase or decrease. It has been shown that the lattice contraction takes place for nanoparticles because of the surface bond contraction. So there is the cohesion of atoms. Cohesion means it's a contraction. So the lattice contraction takes place for nanoparticles because of surface bond contraction. So surface bond contraction has been done by externally applied pressures. So the lattice expansion takes place for nanostructured materials because of bond elongation at the grained boundaries. So this is one of the physical property, that is elongation and contraction. Elongation and contraction occurs with the elasticity material you have seen, but with the nanoparticles also the same property is there. That is cohesion of, that's called as cohesion of atoms. So in nanostructured materials, the lattice constant increases with decreasing size. It is shown that the variation of lattice parameter and the cohesive energy of nanostructured materials are given by del A by A, which is equal to, there is the cohesive area by the area, which is equal to minus H by 3D into A, where H is the atomic diameter and D is the diameter of the nanoparticle, and in which we can find the area over there, which is the area considering the volume and diameter of the particle over there is equal to the volume of that particular nanoparticle into 1 minus 3h by 2d. So both for nanoparticles and nanostructured materials, the cohesive energy decreases with the decreasing particle size, so the decrease is weaker in the latter case. On the other hand, the lattice parameter decreases for nanoparticles but increases for nanostructured materials. So particle and nanostructured material are different, because nanoparticle means it comes under less than 100 nanometer. Nanostructured materials means it will be 2D or 3D material, and so the lattice parameter increases for nanostructured materials as the size is reduced. So the density is estimated as rho is equal to the mass by volume minus the area considering the volume and density by c square v. So the density, whenever we have to calculate with the velocities too. So size dependent density of gold nanostructured materials is given over here. Whenever the size or thickness is increased, the density also increased. So that's we have seen with the bulk material characteristics. So the bulk material characteristics, if the number of particles increases, the density automatically increases. This is given over here. Then wettability and surface tension. Wettability is the phenomenon of ability of liquid to maintain contact with the solid surface, resulting in intermolecular interaction when the two faces are brought in contact. It is quantitatively measured in the contact angle by Young's equation. Gamma Lg cos theta is equal to gamma Sg minus gamma Sl. So gamma with respect to the liquid over a sine over a different angle 90 degree is equal to the gamma, the radiation, that is the interaction taken over solid with respect to the liquid. It's taken over here. So first liquid and gas has to be considered based on the solid and gas, then solid and liquid. There is L stands for liquid, S solid, G gas. So the Young's equation is always taken at 90 degree is given over here. That's the contact angle here. Then contact angle is the angle at which the liquid vapor interface meets the solid surface interface. It should be 0 or less than 90 degree or equal to 90 degree, greater than 90 degree or 180 degree. But most of the cases, as this is in a circular manner, we take only 90 degree. So wetting is inversely proportional to the contact angle. So if contact angle decreases, the wetting characteristics increases. Then effect of nanoparticle. Liquid containing nanoparticles exhibit different spreading and thinning behavior on solids than liquids without nanoparticles. The contact angle of the surfaces decreases with increasing surface coverage. For smaller sized nanoparticles, the surface to volume ratio increases, so the surface energy increases, which leads to decrease in contact angle. So these are the effect of nanoparticles with wetting characteristics. So the contact angle alpha is directly proportional to particle size. So wetting is inversely proportional to particle size, because particle size is inversely proportional to contact angle, and so wetting is directly proportional to contact angle. So this is given over here. See, so here wetting is inversely proportional to contact angle. So the contact angle is directly proportional to particle size. These are the references from which I have taken this. Thank you.